Hey, welcome back. Let's talk to some friends and take five. Come on. Hi.
Hi.
And hello to you too. And welcome to World Boba and Coffee, 9 Music and Film, episode number 2. And today, gonna be a fun day. We're going to talk to some people that do cosplay and beyond. So let's get to meet them and let's talk to them for a minute.
Hi, my name's Arlene. I've been cosplaying since 2016, and recently I've been getting more into building my own cosplays. So, pass it to.
Hello, my name is Dino. I have been cosplaying for 7 years. I started always making my own handmade costumes, and recently I am wearing Perona. It is all handmade, and it did win first place at Anime Addicts last year.
Congrats.
Cool. Hi, my name is Hannah. I've been cosplaying for about 3 years, and I've been judging a couple of cosplay competitions as well, and I'm just learning how to make more cosplays.
Hi, I'm Crybaby Cosplay. I started cosplaying in 2021, but I officially debuted in February. So I'm still new to the community, but I'm really excited to be here.
Hi, my name is Ham, short for Abraham. I've been cosplaying for 19 years. Through those 19 years, I have developed a various amount of skill sets. I've been a cosplay judge. I've won several cosplay contests. Today, I'm wearing a Batman suit, one of 47 Batman suits that I have, which I have constructed myself.
Nice. And I'm wearing hand-me-downs from my brother-in-law. I don't know, a Wizard of Boba, I think. I don't know what I am. But first, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
One of the things that we'll mention it again is what we're trying to do at our boba shop is to highlight incredible people from El Paso. We just want you guys to shine, and we want many people to learn about cosplay. It's become very, very popular, and I wanted to share that with everyone that gets to watch this, because you guys are doing it at a very high level. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about today. So let's start with, we already talked about how long you've been doing it, but what inspired you to start doing cosplay?
Cool. Well, since I was little, my mom would dress me up, even for Halloween. She would, for birthdays. I was Mimi Mouse, I was clowns. And just as I grew up, I really enjoy dressing up. Unfortunately, cosplay has, though it's popular now, back then there weren't very kind people. So I did not cosplay a lot in public. I would only cosplay at home. When TikTok started, I started my own TikTok, and I got a little bit more comfortable with cosplaying, so I started to attend more conventions. And when I met amazing cosplayers, I met Ham, I met Mirel, I met Hannah, I met Carlita, and Astra Cosplays. They're so amazing. They inspired me a lot to start to make my own props, to start making my own costume, buy my sewing machine. I just got super excited, and now I'm more excited to attend conventions with friends.
Cool. Yeah. You?
Okay. Well, 7 years ago, I kind of just went to my first cosplay convention, El Paso Comic Con, and I did make my first costume of Chihiro from Spirited Away. And well, it was, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to do it. Ever since I was little, I always was very crafty. And then my mom, she introduced me to my friend Alejandra, and well, she brought me to my first cosplay convention, and I was I didn't know we had that in El Paso, and I made my first costumes and everything. And then my mom just wanted me to get into it because she said that I had a natural talent for it, and overall I just kind of proceeded and perfected my craft overall and throughout the years.
I had kind of a different experience with cosplay. So when I was younger, I would go dress up for like movie premieres, which I never considered it cosplay up until I started going to conventions in 2021, I believe is the first convention I went to. And I felt really left out. And I was like, oh, I really like everybody cosplays here. Like I should cosplay, you know? And it got it was really popular at the time. So I was like, you know what? Like I see all these amazing people who are so talented with makeup and everything, and it made me want to cosplay. So, and I've always been passionate about Halloween costumes and making Halloween costumes as well. But my friend Katrina helped me make this costume, Mount Lady from My Hero Academia, and that was just kind of where it started. And then I loved it and met new people who are into cosplay, and it just went from there. So yeah.
So I've always really been into Halloween and dressing up. My mom always thought that was kind of strange because I would get really into it. And she's like, it's okay. Like you're just a cow. You don't have to, it's okay. And I'd be like, no, I'm going to be the best cow there is. So I would get really into like the dressing up. Especially in school when they would have the plays, I'd be the first to sign up and be like, yes, dress me up. I will dress up. So growing up, I had always had like that, just like passion for like costumes. And then I did live in Japan for 3 years, and out there, obviously like anime is so big. So that's how I kind of got more into anime. And when I moved back to El Paso, I started cosplaying in my room. And then this was during pandemic. So like I didn't really have anywhere to go. And so one day, some friends reached out and they're like, hey, we're going to start like a booth at El Paso Comic-Con, and we would love to have cosplayers at the booth. And like, I know that you cosplay in your room. Would you be comfortable doing it at the booth? And I was like, yeah, like that'd be great. So I started cosplaying at their booth for a little bit, which is where I met Hannah. And from there, it's just been like a hobby, and I've really just fell in love with like the whole cosplay world.
So there was two main characters that really got me interested in it, and that's Wolverine and Batman. Ever since like I was young, those were two of my favorite characters, and that's what got me into it. And I also met a Wolverine cosplayer at a video game rental store, and I stepped on his foot, and he got pretty mad and brought out his claws. And I was like, oh wow, Wolverine's about to attack me. And I was like, man, this guy gets to dress up as Wolverine and do this. This is really cool. And then I went to my first convention in Anaheim, not knowing. I recently found out that it was Anime Expo. That was my very first convention in Anaheim, California. And I saw people dressed up, and I was like, oh, wow, like people do this. This is fun. So I was graduating high school. I went to college. I didn't really know what to declare to study. And I was like, art, sculpture. So I got a degree in sculpture and in art. And I used that degree to create cosplays. Because if I can manipulate one material, I can manipulate every material. And that's actually how I create my cosplay process, is using my sculpture degree. And from there, like it actually allowed me to learn EVA foam. It transitioned into making armors and other things. And that kind of opened opportunities to do more things. So it's been a fun ride since. And like I mentioned, 19 years of just learning and doing stuff, meeting awesome people along the way.
Well, very cool. One thing that you may not know about me, but I used to live in California for a long time. And I went to many San Diego Comic-Cons. Amazing. But I will shout out and put down my friends who would never want to dress up with me. So when you said that people were not so nice back then, I know it because none of my friends make disappear. They wouldn't dress up with me, and I would go and I'd be like, oh, I wish I had friends that wanted to cosplay. So
well, now you have friends. Now you have friends.
So now I made friends.
Cosplay with friends is a whole different experience.
And now I can cosplay, and I have to pause for the sponsorship. My niece lent me her Universal Studios wand. And with the specific instructions, if I break it or mess it up, I am a dead man. So thank you, Kylie, very much. Nothing's going to happen to it. I have to plug her because she lent it to me and I'm a dead man. Your costumes look beyond a Halloween costume. So let's talk a little bit about how long does it take?
So, for example, I'll run through the process of this one. This one, the very first time you're making a muscle suit, you have to 3D print it and you have to mold it. So in total, it took me about 2.5 months to make it because you have to 3D print all the muscle parts. Then you have to silicone cast them. After you silicone cast them, you create a stucco jacket so that it can hold the shape. And then you could pour the liquid form that goes, which is the foam polyurethane, to create these squishy muscles that you glue onto a bodysuit. And then you glue this fabric over it. And that's the muscle suit process. The cowl, you 3D print a cowl, you create another mold matrix, and you pour the urethane rubber to create that. And the cape, obviously, you have to sew in panels. So, I mean, it takes panels and also lining, which I learned from my mentor, Sarah Beltray, who taught me how to sew. But this actually took us 5 years to finish because I never really worked on it. And it was just on the shelf. And I finally got the courage to work on it and finish it this year.
It looks great.
But yeah, about a total of 2.5 months to build something like this.
Okay.
And, you know, like, it would be like about $1,200 for a complete suit like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking at a person in a movie right now. So, really good.
Thank you.
And you?
I did want to mention that, especially for new cosplayers that may not have the skill set, not everyone makes their own cosplays, and that's okay. A lot of us do just buy our cosplays, especially because a lot of us don't have time.
Sure.
You know, we have our full-time jobs where some of us are students, some of us are part-time workers, and that's okay. I just recently started getting into making my own cosplay. Right now, I think from the start of getting my materials to actually starting to work on it, it's taken me like, I would say like a month. We're working on a cosplay together. Yeah, we're working on it together. It's been like about a month, and that's because like I am a student, so I work on it on the weekends. Price-wise, I would say a good cosplay would be maybe like minimum $80.
Okay. That's not
If
too
you're
bad.
making it, it does get a little pricier than that. This current cosplay that I'm working on, I want to say that I've already spent maybe $200 on it, and that's just on materials and a lot of trial and error.
So the one that you make will last all year? Many times? One time? What's the...
So I'm still very much a newbie. So I'm not very confident in my skills just yet. So I don't know how long it'll last me. I'm hoping it'll last me a good 2-3 wears.
Okay.
But this is my first cosplay that I'm ever building. So we'll see how it goes.
Very cool. That looks great.
Okay, so for my costume, this costume specifically, my friend who has like costume skills, she basically worked for off Broadway plays doing costuming, and so she had helped me she sewed pretty much everything on this. I only helped really make the horns on this, so most of my cosplays are bot cosplays. But currently, I'm working on 2 different cosplays that I'm making, and it's been in the process of like, I think I'm on 3 weeks now, but it'll be probably a month and a half, like by the time I need it for because it's for an event coming up, so in October. I think I've spent about maybe $150 each on both. For bot cosplays, usually I spend around like $75. Yeah, $75-$80 I think is pretty good.
But for people watching, I mean, it's not just a one-time wear.
No,
You'll get many uses out of it.
Well,
so the cost is not just a one-time thing.
No.
You'll be wearing it often,
This
so it's
one
worth it.
Yeah, well, this one I've worn like at least 3 times to different cons. So sorry.
Okay.
I've worn several of my costumes over. Actually, most of my cosplays I've worn at least twice. So yeah.
I'm hoping
At least
people
you
get
some.
inspired and want to join and,
For sure.
and build a community larger
Absolutely.
and larger. So.
And that's what we wanted. We want it to happen.
Cool.
So usually for like my time, I'm not the best at managing my time, but I would say I haven't spent like longer than 5 months making a cosplay. To be honest, with the money, I don't really know, but it's definitely a couple bucks because I always like buy my supplies like in like separate times. Like I don't buy it all at once because it will be heavy. So like sometimes I'll be like going to like the fabric store or like the craft store, and at most I'll just spend like maybe like $40, but that's like in between trips. So like it does add up to like a couple bucks. But like like Hannah was saying, like most of the cosplays, like you kind of like when you make them to last. And this is my third time making this cosplay, and it took me, I would say, maybe about a month and a half to make it. And it was $75 or a little bit cheaper, because like I did have like a time crunch on it, as I am a con cruncher, and I was very impatient with it. But I did not want to spend too much, because you learn to budget when you cosplay.
Sure.
You learn to go to sales. You learn to save money. You learn to reuse stuff. Because I would say that cosplayers are the best recyclers of materials.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's good. You?
Well, I think I have been getting better at managing how long it takes for me to make the cosplays. I definitely what we call con crunch. So sometimes you're up all night working on a costume that you're gonna use the next day. So that's what happens to me. But I mean, for Lucy, that I used for anime El Paso, I think that took me about maybe a month and a half, but I did finish it the day before the convention. So, but I did compete in that one. So more like hours before, honestly. I was like an hour. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, first place.
Yes, so I was very happy.
Nice.
I got first place. I'm very proud of it, and so I'm giving myself a little bit more time. But I did start working on 4 other cosplays that I'm making, so hopefully they are done on time.
Like I said, I didn't officially start going to like conventions in February as a spectator, because like I said, I used to work booths, but ever since I had met these wonderful people, like they have been so supportive, and anytime I've had questions, they've always been there to answer my questions, especially when like sometimes I don't feel confident in my cosplay. Like I feel like I could always go to them and be like, hey, like, is my wig off? And they'll be like, here, I'll fix it for you. And it's not like it's just like a friendship thing that, you know, through that shared interest, it just naturally grows. And before you know it, you're like attending all these events and you're like, hey, I'm wearing this. And oh my God, I'm going to wear like the opposite character of the same show. Like, let's go and like take pictures and like we'll make a picnic. And it becomes like a second family, basically. So Anime Mundo is coming up, so we'll definitely be at that one. We also have ChucoCon, that's also coming up in October. We also have Horror Fest.
Yes, in February.
In February.
Anime Fest is twice a year also at Bassett Mall. And then we have EpCon in May, El Paso Comic Con. In April. I'm sorry. April. Getting my dates mixed up. And then we have Las Cruces Comic Con also usually in Anime El Paso, which is in June usually. And then Las Cruces Comic Con, which is in August. Kaleidoscope Art Market. We have Anime Addicts usually that comes. CamCon also happened this year as well. I'm trying to think of any other events. They have there's smaller events also. Luna's Art Market also. And then
I think there's a contest at World War Coffee.
Big Red Con.
I think we do have one every year, but cool.
Throughout the years, there's been like a lot of additional cons. I think like these past 2 years, it's been the most from like what I've seen like in the community.
It's getting bigger.
It used to be like very few cons or just El Paso Comic Con. And now, like, these events are getting bigger. There's more people coming into them. There's, like, even bigger guests coming into them. And it just shows how much, like, there's been improvement.
Sure.
And, there's those many events that are, like, so far right now. But I'm sure in the future, there's even going to be a lot more.
Oh, I have another one. That's Glitter Pop Explosion. Also has a bunch of different events. They work with some K-pop groups as well. So sometimes they overlap as well.
It seems K-pop, anime, and cosplay go together.
Yeah, a lot of the time, they do.
Which has become big
mesh.
in El Paso.
Yes.
We all like the same things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel like we all get along pretty well on that.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
But But I mean, if you guys want to, if any cosplayers want to find any like of this information, they can definitely follow their Instagram pages. Every convention kind of has their Instagram, and also they can join the Facebook group. There is a El Paso cosplay group. They can request to join, and there are a lot of updates there about the conventions coming up, any events coming up, any questions too that they have. It's not just events. So if they want to upload their pictures, their process there. They can upload it there. EP fan events, and there's also like little events, community gatherings that are held by cosplayers for cosplayers.
Just last week we had the pictures at the park. So just last week we had the pictures at the park. It was a smaller event, but we invited a lot of photographers who wanted to just offer their services and take pictures of the cosplayers. And we invited all cosplayers. Like if you guys had the time to join us, you can get your pictures taken for free. And that way you can show off all of your hard work. So that was just an event that we had last week. And I want to say it was like, maybe 13 of us that showed up and 3 or 4 photographers that showed up. It was a good event. Yeah.
Another thing to add, if you also want more information, there's a Discord, cosplay Discord that we created, Cosplay and Chill. Yeah, that's a Discord that we have, and you could also get crafting advice and events, and you can also showcase your cosplays there too. That's another thing if someone wants to join. It's a Discord, and we all share knowledge that we all have with each other, and even newcomers, even people from other cosplay communities are welcome.
We're just gonna call them the sorcerer's drinks, or we'll have a cool name. But you guys get to pick one of each, and I'll describe which one they are. So we'll start with. Here, why don't I give you guys a straw first?
That's straw. That's our wand.
That's your wand. Yeah, I lend you my niece's, but she'll kill me if it has a dent. I can't even sweat on this thing. Okay, so the first one, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is butterbeer. Who wants to try the butterbeer? Okay.
The volunteer.
Yeah, so you can taste each other's, but
You can share bobas.
yeah. So there is no beer in it. It's just called butterbeer. So this one is we're gonna call it Slither. Slither. The snake one.
Ooh, I want to try that.
This. Who wants this one?
Give it to her.
Yeah.
Give it to
Okay.
her.
Okay. That one is blue and red raspberry with lemon and blueberry
good.
popping pearls. Okay, next one is the Raven. The blue should give it away. It's pineapple with lemon, blue curacao, and lemon popping pearls. Who wants the, yeah? The Raven. And then this is, we should have the Griffin. Who wants the? It's a pomegranate pineapple with mango jellies.
I love mango.
And what do we call this one? The Huffy Puffy. I don't know. This one's cucumber lime with lemon popping pearls.
No.
There you go. Okay, switch. Okay. All right, there you go. You can have a little bit of each other. And this wizard. Shorter. This wand doesn't work. I think my niece lent me a broken wand here. Okay, so what do you think?
That's amazing.
Really good?
You can really taste the cucumber in this.
The cucumber good? Did we hit it with the butterbeer?
Oh my god.
Yes?
That is so good.
Cool?
You don't want to try this. Can I try that?
I'll try it, I guess. I'll try it.
Now I know how to defeat Batman. Give him a cucumber drink.
Oh god, I don't like cucumber. I'm sorry.
We just killed Batman. It's a weakness.
Who wants to try this one?
I'll try that.
That's the pomegranate.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
really
okay.
trying not to squish it.
No.
God, that cucumber
Okay,
was. I'm
that's
sorry.
butterbeer.
I'm just not a cucumber.
Apparently we're all
person.
friends, so
Holy
Cool.
crap! This is the butterbeer.
that's the butterbeer.
Oh wow.
Cool?
Yeah, this is because I really want to try this one. This is the one I've been.
Yeah. The Slither.
Oh my god, this is so good.
These are the wizard's apartments, not the houses.
Oh.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Damn, this green
These
one's
are
the best one.
these are the Chuco Wizard apartments.
Oh my god.
The apartment houses.
Like squishing it.
All right. So you guys are cool? All right. We'll keep going a little bit. All right. So we'll just do a couple more questions and we'll call it a day. So what's your well, who has the microphone? Your best memory.
Ooh.
Did you meet someone that inspired you? Maybe an actor or someone who taught you? Best memory of cosplay.
Actually, my best memory was EPCON 2016 because it was the very first time I had a table. But there was an asterisk to that. I had a table because of my charity organization. So there was cosplay guests, and then I was a charity guest. So they already had
What's the
cosplay.
charity called?
Huh?
Let's give 'em a shout out.
Operation Hope. Hope is abbreviated for helping other people endure.
Nice.
And they invited us to have a table at El Paso Comic Con. And they put me in charge of it because they're like, you like Comic Cons? You like cosplay? So I'll go take care of the charity booth. So then I did. And then I was like, so I'm not a cosplay guest, right? So the technicality was, since I'm not a cosplay guest, I could compete in the contest, which was actually the inaugural contest because EPCON was bought in 2016 from the previous owner. So it was a very inaugural cosplay contest, and it was the first time I ever made an EVA foam armor, which was the Ben Affleck Batman suit. And I competed in that, and I won Best in Show overall. I won $500.
Nice.
And I was the inaugural Best in Show champion for EPCON in the new leadership.
Nice.
So that was one of my favorite memories because it catapulted me to San Diego Comic Con, and DC Comics put me in their best of 2016 San Diego Comic Con video.
Nice.
So it kind of catapulted me into something really great. And that's probably one of my favorite memories because winning that and then going to San Diego Comic Con and being featured from DC Comics was just amazing. And it's always one of my favorite memories.
Very cool. And you? A great memory?
One of my favorite memories is actually meeting Hannah. I was working on one of the booths, and she literally came in her Mount Lady cosplay. And I remember I was like starstruck. She looked amazing. And I remember looking at my friend that was working the booth with me, and I was like, did you see that Mount Lady? Oh my God, she literally embodies Mount Lady. I was like, I need to get a picture with her. But I was busy working, right? But then here comes Mount Lady, and she's like, can I get a picture with you? And I was just like nervous and like excited. I was like, yeah. I was like, I was waiting for this moment. And I feel like that was like, I don't know, the start of a beautiful friendship. Because ever since after that, we became friends. And
Very cool.
it's one of my favorite memories of the cons.
Would make me
And you?
cry. Oh my god. Gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can top that. No, one of my also favorite memories is I went to Anime New Mexico and I was dressed as Appa, and I was able to meet Toph's voice actor from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, and so they had Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Toph's voice actor, and I had just had a really, really hard time, and she did like a full, like, Toph's voice actor had a full photo shoot with me. Like, she was so excited to see my Appa, and this is my first time kind of doing my own creative thing with cosplay, and I was so excited that I started crying. But I just had an amazing, I don't know, it was just an amazing experience. But I've had so many memories with all of these people on this couch also, so it's just hard to choose between those as well. But yeah, we've had really good times here as well.
Cool. And you?
So I have like very bad memory. So I'm gonna say perhaps Las Cruces Comic Con because that was the most recent, and I had a lot of fun there with my friends. We all competed, and I bought some stuff, and it was just like very fun, like catching up with everybody and hanging out with them. And it's always nice to like do little activities afterwards as well.
Very cool. And you?
Well, I would say for me, it would be attending Anime Mundo last year because it was my first time getting back into conventions. And the reason for that one specifically, I attended that convention with my Chris, my friend. And that was actually how I re-met with Ham, because actually was it 2018, I believe? 2018. We met, but we did not officially met. I was cosplaying Catwoman and he was Batman, and we just took a picture together. That is all. And for
Is that painting?
that's the difference.
Okay.
So for that convention, he was cosplaying as Goku and I was Trunks, and we were there. We were in line to get a signature from Mario Castañeda, and he came up, was like, "Hey, can we take a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's take a picture." We talked. We were all of us were talking, and he just goes, "I recognize you." I'm like, "You do?" He's like, "Yeah, you were Catwoman." I'm like, "Oh," and that's just how the conversation going. We added each other, and that's how I met everyone else. So that little talk is what got me, like, opened the doors for me for more friendships. So I really appreciate that.
Very cool. Yeah. So we're kind of at the end, and I wish I could go on for hours. But what I would love to do is for each of you to shout out where they can follow you personally, and maybe some future events that you're going to be at. And yeah, each one of you can plug whoever you want to. Yeah.
Well, you can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm wanna_beat_cosplay.
And we'll have them underneath you when the video is edited.
Oh,
so
thank
in
you.
case
Thank you.
they didn't hear it right, they'll be able to follow you.
I am on Instagram and on TikTok. I am dinocosplays._.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok and kind of Facebook, but I don't really use the Facebook that often, as Hannah Attack. But the Instagram is Hannah_Attack, and then on TikTok it's Hannah just no spaces Attack. I have an event coming up. I'm going to be a guest cosplayer at Anime Mundo in October, which is exciting. And a couple of events coming up recently, but they'll already be passed by the time this comes out. So it's Touchgrass, Anime Rave, and
But they'll follow you, and then you'll mention where you're going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Okay.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok because that intimidates me.
Sure.
But you can find me on Instagram, Crybaby Cosplay. And I think the next event that I'll be at will be Anime Mundo. As far as any other event, I usually post it on my Instagram.
Where's Anime Mundo?
That's going to be at the convention center in October.
Cool.
October 11th.
We'll look it up.
The weekend of October 11th.
We'll look it up. We'll look it up. Cool.
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at IamHam7. I am also going to be a lead judge for El Paso Horror Fest, which is on February 22nd.
Nice.
I don't know if I mentioned Batman Day, or do we do that?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Batman Day is this weekend, and I am going to be at Asylum Comics from 11 to 3 p.m. taking photos with people. And you could get free comics and free Batman stuff that they have.
Now, by the time this airs, that will have already passed. But right now, after the show is done, we're going to shoot something to shout out the events that they'll be at this weekend, so you can follow them. So it's like a Back to the Future thing. You'll have to say, "Oh, that was cool." Yeah. Rewind.
I did want to mention that we will be having a Hatsune Miku concert at Anime Mundo. Yes. We are encouraging every cosplayer, even if you're not a cosplayer, to go dressed up as Hatsune Miku. We're trying to connect the world through Miku. So we're calling it Miku Mundo. So we're encouraging everyone, just get your best Miku outfit, anything adjacent to Miku, and join us, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a bunch of Mikus running around.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
And that's going to be on the Saturday for Anime Mundo. Sunday. Sorry. That's going to be Sunday for Anime Mundo. Sunday. Be there.
So, want to thank all of you for coming, spending some time with us. I know you guys are busy, but thank you so much. We are wrapping up the season 1, I don't know, season 1, episode 2 of Take 5. As always, thank you, Benny Chang, 9 Music and Film, and Gloria. And there's a couple of other. So our my brother and I family who always just supports us, and my niece and brother-in-law for letting me my first cosplay. And I always forget to say this, but we really do this just to encourage people to get to know some incredible people in El Paso. And I do always forget because it's not about me. But if you like what we're doing, we're World Boba and Coffee. Come to the shop and say hello. We would appreciate it. Thank you guys for another great episode. And you guys want to stand up?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having
Ay,
us.
mamacita. I didn't mention my brother-in-law's thing didn't fit, but okay. So we'll just say bye to everyone, and please follow them. If you like what they're doing, please follow them and give them a shout out, okay? So everyone, say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye. See you soon.